Does perfectionism feel like your superpower, or is it secretly holding you back? If you've ever hesitated to start something just because it wasn't perfect, then keep watching. We are going to dive into what's really behind perfectionism and how to move past it. So, how many times have you held back from sharing an idea or starting a project simply because it just didn't feel perfect? Or how often do you convince yourself that everything you do must be perfect, otherwise you won't be good enough? Are you used to finding yourself stuck in this endless cycle of overthinking, planning, and revising instead of actually doing? If any of that resonates, know that you are not alone. In fact, more than 30% of adults deal with this condition. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alice Nova, and today I want to talk about something so many of us wrestle with: perfectionism, and what actually drives this relentless pursuit of flawlessness that we so often wear like a badge of honor. Perfectionism often feels like a strength. We tell ourselves it's all about having high standards or delivering exceptional results. But let's be real, what's really driving it? The truth is that perfectionism isn't about excellence. It's about fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. And I get it, because for years I believed my high standards were a reflection of my dedication. But I eventually realized it was all about control and trying to shield myself from possible rejection, judgment, or failure. And in doing so, I wasn't just protecting myself. I was holding myself back from new opportunities, deeper connections, and real growth. Perfectionism and excellence are not the same thing. Excellence is about doing your best, learning through the process, and allowing curiosity and creativity to flow. Perfectionism, on the other hand, is all about chasing flawless results and leaving no room for mistakes or authenticity. So, why do we fall into this trap? At its core, perfectionism is a fear-based energy pattern with a pretty noble disguise. It shows up as high standards, but underneath, it's just fear, telling us we are not ready yet or we are not good enough. And the cost is quite high. All the missed opportunities, endless procrastination, and a constant disconnect from who we really are. Waiting for the perfect moment is often just a way to avoid facing our fears. We tell ourselves, I'll be ready when this or that happens. But honestly, how often does that moment actually come? Waiting forever is a really, really long time. But here is the good news. Perfectionism isn't a permanent threat. It's just a pattern of energy, and because it's energy, those patterns can be changed. And one way to shift those fear-based patterns is through energy work. It helps you uncover and release your hidden fears and hidden limiting beliefs that often push you to overcompensate by chasing unattainable standards. If you are curious but skeptical about energy work, I get it. And for that reason, I created a video called Energy Work 101, Moving Past Woo-Woo to Lasting Change, where I break down the basics of energy work in a practical way. I will post the link to that video in the description below, so go check it out. Because the thing is that when we clear those energetic patterns that keep us stuck in the loop, we create space for new levels of clarity, creativity, and confidence. We let go of that perfectionist shield and step into the freedom of being good enough, which is more than enough. When we stop chasing perfection, we open the door to brand new possibilities. And the best part, we finally feel free to just be us. So next time you feel yourself slipping into that perfectionism trap, ask yourself, what fear might be driving this? And what would actually happen if I allowed myself to show up with all my imperfections? What happens might surprise you. Most of the time, those flaws we are so worried about are only visible to us. And when we embrace the freedom of being our authentic self, no matter how imperfect, our lives become richer, more connected, and way more fulfilling. If you want to take this a step further, I've also written an article for Brains magazine where I share some additional practices from my experience, how to break free from the perfectionist trap. And I will post the link to the article also in the description below so you can go check it out. And before we wrap up, I would love to know, what's the one thing that you always wanted to do but didn't because it wasn't perfect? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And when we lean into that, our courage, creativity, and authenticity start to flourish. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what resonated with you most from this video. Thank you again, and see you next time.